President Biden has a big mess on his hands. What else is new? When it comes to China, the communists now threatening Nancy Pelosi over her possible trip to Taiwan, saying it's a red line that she should not cross. And there are fears the Chinese could shoot down Pelosi's plane if she travels there. Wow. Doesn't sound like President Biden thinks it's a good idea.
Mr. President, do you think it's a good idea for Speaker Pelosi to travel to Taiwan this summer?
Well, I think that the military thinks it's not a good idea right now, but I don't know what the status of it is.
The Biden White House is reportedly working behind the scenes to warn the speaker. That's how we found out of the dangers of going. But some Republicans think Pelosi can't back down now.
Speaker Pelosi should absolutely go forward with her trip to Taiwan. We cannot back down in the face of these Chinese threats. If Joe Biden does, if he prevents Nancy Pelosi or any other member of Congress from traveling to Taiwan, it will create a major foreign policy crisis.
What kind of message does that send if she doesn't go, if she allows the bully to win and Biden allows them to win?
And let's not allow China to dictate where any American citizen goes to meet any others.
Geraldo, China promises a firm response. What do you think that means? I mean, they're not going to shoot down a plane.
Well, I hope you're right. Remember, the Russians did shoot down Korean Air Flight 007, so it is possible that a civilian airliner could be shot down, and they are at times crazy enough
that would be
to
an
do
act of war.
Yeah, but it wasn't considered an act of war when they shot down the Korean airliner, or if it was, it didn't lead to war. It's a very, very sensitive topic. Taiwan is, by United States policy, part of China. It's this big island off the coast of China. It's where when the communists took over China, it's where the democratic forces were in exile. But we negotiated away Taiwan's right to sovereignty to regularize, normalize relations with China. Should she go now? I think the only way Nancy Pelosi should go to China now is with Kevin McCarthy, the Republican leader of the House, where you have a Republican and Democrat together to show at least the Chinese that it's not a parochial partisan act, that it is a bipartisan act, that Americans are in it together. The Taiwanese deserve their freedom, although they are like Hong Kong, and eventually China will take them over.
Kennedy, what if she flies with some orphans and some puppies? No one's going to shoot it down.
The Chinese would, Greg.
Will it really?
No, I don't know. I don't think they're going to shoot her down, and I think she should go. Greg, I know you're a huge fan of The Crown.
Yes.
I love the series. Don't you remember when Queen Elizabeth went to Ghana and met with Nkrumah and brought him back on side because Jackie Kennedy got drunk at a dinner party and badmouthed the Queen?
Yes.
Nancy Pelosi can be our queen right now. For the first time, that's all she wants is her icy fingers on the scepter, and this will be her moment. If she doesn't back down, she will earn a lot of respect from people, and she shouldn't listen to President LeBron James.
Oh, there you go. I didn't know he was president. Dana, this is so weird. I didn't know that people could, I mean, like, why can't she just go? Right? Why can't we go to Taiwan?
Well, this is also a very interesting thing. Like, once again, President Biden is kicking off the week, having an argument that's intra-party.
Right.
It's not as if it was, Senator Tom Cotton says, I'm going to go to Taiwan, which he could if he wanted to, of course, but she was already going to go to Japan. She had a planned trip. Somebody leaked that she was going to go to try to get her not to go. I don't know who that was, but we should never be in this position in the first place. She should have been in Japan and then quietly been able to say, and now I'll be going to Taiwan. And rather, now we have this situation where they were trying to de-escalate, but now they have escalated it even further, and I understand that. Also, Nancy Pelosi did invite Republicans to go with her. I don't know if it was Kevin McCarthy in particular, but it was going to be a bipartisan congressional delegation type of trip, which is what you usually have. But we never should have been in this position in the first place. I believe that what President Biden is saying is that they don't want to escalate tensions. But by not going, but by saying she shouldn't go, that is only going to lead to down the road to further escalating tensions if you don't nip it in the bud now.
You know, Jesse, in the green room, you said, I think Nancy should go on the condition she doesn't return. I thought that was rather rude of you. I mean, can't you put partisan politics aside?
No, I think that was her husband, Paul Pelosi, that said that.
Well, she is going to be taking the car keys.
That's good.
Yes,
Good, because he should be taking Ubers from now on. China basically killed 1 million Americans with a virus, and now they're telling us where we can't go. No, I've had it with the Chinese. I've had it with them. If Nancy wants to go visit an ally, let her go. And if they touch a hair on her head, that hair well-groomed illegally at a salon without a mask during a quarantine, but I don't care. We will unleash hell upon the mainland. We already have a carrier strike group there in the Western Pacific, the U.S. Ronald Reagan. I'm sure Nancy loves the sound of that. And we have a destroyer up and down the Taiwan Strait or whatever it's called. We can do whatever we want to the Chinese. They're not going to do anything. She's probably going over there because they just passed the chips bill. And we design a lot of chips and they manufacture them in Taiwan and then they send them back. So she's probably just kind of maybe looking for investment opportunities for the family, or just establishing a very good commercial connection between the two countries.
Well, that's a good point about fentanyl. I mean, about COVID, and also when you consider the fentanyl aspect of this, they've killed more than 1 million Americans.
I mean, Newt went over there in '97. They didn't touch Newt.
Yeah.
Don't say anything.
I won't. But you knew exactly what I was thinking.
I knew where your mind was going.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.